Hello and welcome into Roush Stadium here in Kettering, Ohio for our MVCC Game of the Week, week number 3. I'm Andy Horton along with my co-host Jared Bergstrom, and for our MVCC Game of the Week picks this week, we got our friend here, Tony Peters. Tony Peters is he's the head coach of the U16 Dayton Elite basketball team, and he's also co-founder of Southwest Ohio Full Court Press. So if you're into local Ohio high school basketball, he's one of the guys to go check out, so make sure you check out his site. And so I guess we should go ahead and get into the picks, guys. So our very first game, it actually happened last night, and it was it was Oakwood and West Milton. And when we were talking about our picks last night, Jared, I told you that I thought that West Milton was going to win the game, and then I looked on Twitter, and we had Tony. He was there covering the game, so that was a great coverage from you, Tony. And so then our next pick is going to be West Carrollton and Stebbins. So Tony,
it's got to go Stebbins in this one, man. They've been so dominant to start the year. Adrian Norton's been such a versatile player. I just don't see them losing this game tonight.
All right, Jared.
I like what Mobley's doing, but only in his third game up in the area. I got to go with Stebbins.
Yeah, and I definitely got to agree with both of you guys. I'm a big fan of Adrian Norton, and I'm a Stebbins alum, so if I don't pick Stebbins, all my friends are going to kick my butt. So our next game is Valley View and Ross. Tony?
I think this will be a bounce-back game for Valley View. I see them winning this game in a close one.
All right.
I only got one wrong, I think, in my entire time picking Valley View, and that was last week, so Valley View will bounce back and win again.
Yeah, and I definitely got to pick the Spartans. They're a really good program, and they don't often lose 2 games in a row, so picking the Spartans this week. Our next game is Centerville and Gahanna Lincoln. Tony?
I got to go Centerville in this one. They got such a great defense, and I think it's going to be a real low-scoring battle because Gahanna's got a great defense themselves. So under the 20s, I think, is what the final score will be, but Centerville will win that one.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Lincoln. It's a really good school. Centerville, another really good school. But I think that Lincoln, they're just going to have the upper hand in this game. So, Jared?
I'm going to take the Elks. Wakalongo, he came back his senior year, and he's a dominant running back, kind of like what we'll see tonight in Drew Baker. And if, like Tony said, if it's going to be a low-scoring game, I think Centerville's defense will edge that one out.
Wakalongo, what a great name. And then our next pick, it's Miamisburg and Harrison. Tony, who you got?
Got to go Miamisburg. Harrison struggled too much this year, and that high-octane offense from Miamisburg is going to be tough to stop. I got the Vikings in this one.
Yeah, and I think I would have to agree. I'm going to pick the Vikings. Like you said, the Harrison offense really struggled. I think they've only scored 1 touchdown so far. So, got to go with the Vikings. Jared?
Vikings in a bounce-back performance tonight.
All right, our next game is Elder and Springboro. Who you got, Jared?
I'll take the Springboro Panthers in this one. Evan Russo, he's top 5 in rushing and passing this year in G-Walk. I think Springboro, I think this is their year. They're finally, the younger kids are finally juniors and seniors. I think they're going to go to 3-0 tonight.
All right.
I got to go Elder in this one, Jared. I mean, I just watched them beat Pickerington Central last week. That's one of the best teams in Division I in Ohio. To do that the way they did, I think they're going to come away with this one. So I'm going to take the opposite Panthers in this one.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go with Tony, Elder, that they're just a great program, and even though I really like Evan Rousseau at quarterback, doing everything for that offense this year, I just don't think he's going to be enough against the Panthers from the South. So then our final game, the game of the week, guys, the one that we're here for, we got the LaSalle Lancers and the Fairmont Firebirds. Who you got, Tony?
This is a tough one for me, but I got to go with LaSalle in this. Just knowing how those GCL schools play, I think they're going to find a way to neutralize Drew Baker, and I think they're going to find a way to pull away in that one. All
right. Jared?
That's a good pick, but Fairmont already has beaten one GCL team this year, and they're going to go 2-0 against the GCL. I'm going to take the Firebirds. Firebirds win, go to 3-0.
All right, and I'm also going to have to pick the Firebirds. I just think Drew Baker has been impossible to stop so far. He's got 355 yards so far, and I just think he's going to rack up probably another 150, maybe 200. Who knows? Maybe he gets another 300 tonight. The guy's absolutely unstoppable. So I guess that's going to do it for our MVCC Game of the Week picks. I guess we're going to send it up to the booth, and we will see you guys after kickoff.
All right, hello and welcome inside Roush Stadium for tonight's MVCC Game of the Week. For week number 3, proudly sponsored by Sherholt Printing. It's a battle of the undefeated as the 2-0 LaSalle Lancers are taking on the 2-0 Fairmont Firebirds. Andy, why don't you go ahead and introduce us to the LaSalle coach real quick?
Well, Jared, the Lancers are coached by Patrick McLaughlin. This is his 6th year with LaSalle. He's won 31 of his 46 games, winning over 2/3 of his games. And just a quick note about Coach is he in 2013 and in 2012 he was the offensive coordinator of Muller when they won their state championships. So he definitely knows what he's doing. So the keys to the game, what LaSalle is going to need to do, they're going to have to sustain drives against this Fairmont team. Fairmont is a team that you really cannot afford to just give the ball back to. We all know that Fairmont, they like to run the clock out. They just run the ball all day long, and they just don't give you a shot to score. So you definitely have to be able to sustain drives. What else are they going to have to do? They're going to have to score when they have the ball, because most of the time, Coach Miller only gives his opponents 3, maybe 4 possessions. He's definitely not going to let you, just run up the score against these Firebirds. On defense, what are you going to have to do? Stop that man. Drew Baker has 355 yards coming into this game, and he could get another 355 here tonight. So you definitely got to watch out for him. And you have to watch out for the pass, because Coach Miller is ready to throw the ball. He's just waiting for you to fall asleep. And guess what? Teams fall asleep on this team all the time, and so then he just beats you over the top. So Jared, how about you introduce us to the Firebirds for tonight's game?
You said his name a few times. The Firebirds are coached by Dave Miller. This is his 7th season, been here since 2016. And for the Firebirds offense, you talked about on defense. Fairmont's going to have to keep turning around and hand the ball to Drew Baker. He, like you said, 355 yards, I think 5 or 6 touchdowns coming into the game tonight. We've seen him once already this year against Alter, had 202 yards, and I think he's going to have another big night tonight. Kind of going hand in hand with Fairmont with the running game like you talked about. You got to keep third down manageable. Fairmont thrives on getting at least 4 or 5 yards of play. If they do that, that makes it 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, and they keep it manageable, and Miller will go for it on 4th down in his own territory. We've seen that many a times. Defensively, they're going to have to force turnovers. They forced 4 against Alter, forced 2 against last week against Trotwood Madison. You force turnovers, you get the ball back, and Fairmont can run that clock out. And finally, no dumb penalties. We've seen a couple late hits in the Alter game, a couple face masks. Limit those, or don't limit them. Don't let it happen. And I think Fairmont will go to 3-0 on the night if they can execute that. We will be back for the national anthem in our week number 3 game of the week, presented by Sherholtz Printing. Off the field. Who is a player to watch for the LaSalle Lancers? A lot of our viewers might not know some names on that team.
All right, Jared. Well, for LaSalle, the guy who really does most of the things on offense, it's Mason Mattingly. He's a guy, he has 3 touchdowns on the season. He's completed about 50% of his passing yards, of his passing attempts, and then also had to make sure you keep an eye on Jalen Grant. He has over 120 rushing yards on the season and 2 rushing touchdowns to his credit. So definitely got to watch out for those 2 guys. They make the things happen for the Lancers.
I mean, we were quick with talk. I mean, Fairmont won the toss, deferred to the second half. So, I mean, we'll see the Lancers on offense first. Defensively, I mean, this Firebirds defense is what's really got them. I mean, they forced 4 turnovers against Alter in the first week. They forced 2 last week against Trotwood. So it'll be interesting to see. Last week, LaSalle beat some Canadian team. I have RFCC out of Canada, 70-7. But the week before, Coleraine took them 17-13, and they won like in the last 5 minutes. So it'll be interesting to see what LaSalle team we play. If it's the one against Coleraine, Fairmont might be in better shape. If it's the one against RFCC, Fairmont might have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, I believe they scored like 77 points or something like that in that game last week. So definitely Fairmont does not want to see that team. It's going to be interesting to see which rendition of the Lancers we get tonight.
So you're going to see number 16. Actually, it's going to be, it looks like number 37, Max Gehring, is going to be out to punt. Oh, no, there's Will Holt, number 16, off to kick off for the Firebirds. And for LaSalle back deep, you have number 2, Tamiko Jackson, standing about his goal line.
The patent and fake by the Firebirds.
Holt's hands in the air, and we are about ready to kick off for week number 3 as Holt boots this one deep, and it is fielded at about the 4 for Jackson. Cuts it back upfield, has a hold of the outside. Jackson across the 40, out to the 50, and Holt pushes him out of bounds. And if Holt wasn't there, I think he'd still be running and probably have himself a touchdown.
Yeah, and that was a really nice return right there. A great starting field position for the Firebirds. I believe that was Tyrone Brown on the return, and on his first cut around the 23-yard line, he had a nice little juke move that put a Firebird.
Got a couple on their ankle,
yeah,
on their butts.
He put a Firebird or two on skates and made himself a nice big hole, got out there around the 40.
See, LaSalle's going to come out to the top, to the bottom, kind of in a stack formation. And it's going to be a handoff for the first play of the game to number 3, Jalen Grant, and he gets about 3 on the play.
And like we said earlier, Jalen Grant, he's got 2 touchdowns on the season, about 125 yards. Hasn't had the most productive outing so far, but he's had a good season so far. Definitely not the explosive guy like
we'll see when Fairmont gets the ball.
Yeah.
Drew Baker. It's going to be split wide out to the outside.
Mattingly
Hauled
throws
in,
it.
First down play pushed out of
Hits
bounds.
number 14. That's Xander Bernecker.
So it's a first down gain of about 12, 13 on the play. And LaSalle 2 plays, and they're into Firebird territory.
That was a really quick strike by Mattingly.
You're going to have 3 receivers down here to the bottom, and you're going to have the lone receiver to the top, number 14, Xander.
And the Lancers, they get up to the line early, and they don't want for Fairmont to get any substitutions here.
Back to pass, looking middle of the field, and it is hauled in by Benneker. Blocked to the outside. He's still on his feet. He's at the 20, the 10,
and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. I think they're going to spot him out around the 18-yard line. Nice job by whichever Firebird that was, able to push him out of bounds. And the Lancers are moving quickly.
They pushed him out at the 28, so only a gain of about 8 on the about 12 on the play. So heads up play by the official there to see that he was out of bounds.
There's a lot of pressure on that play by the Firebirds. Max Frank came almost uncontested and was able to hit Mattingly, but not able to get there before.
And he is tackled. About a gain of 2, and there's a flag on the play.
That's going to be the first time we see the laundry tonight. We saw a lot of it last week in our game, as for the second week in a row, Miamisburg really struggled with penalties.
Penalties, yeah. And that was a hold against the Lancers, so that's going to back them up 10 more yards to the 39. I would consider that a little bit of a win for the Firebirds. They got downfield quickly in 2 plays. Now you got them backed up in 1st and long here.
Oh, and one of the things that you always like to talk about is bend but don't break. You don't want to, you want to make it as difficult as possible for the other team to get into the end zone. Right now, the Firebirds got a 1st and 21.
Oh, it was a spot foul. So actually, it was an 11-yard penalty. You see, this is and now a timeout called.
Not often you see an 11-yard penalty.
And not often that I saw you had 2 running backs in front of Mason Mattingly.
And now it looks like the refs and the LaSalle head coach are having a discussion.
I think LaSalle called a timeout.
Coach McLaughlin is having a discussion. So number 9, that was Coy Beasley. He didn't have his chin strap buckled down, so he had to fix his equipment.
Back to pass, throws it middle of the field, and it is incomplete. No penalty flags, and nice coverage there by number 26, Stevie Doty.
Gavin Prophet in there.
Oh, he came in
the
almost
backfield
unblocked.
quickly. I believe unblocked. Yeah, was able to get a clean shot on Mattingly, and Mattingly just sailed that over the head of his wide receiver, as well as Stevie Doty III.
And actually, there was a penalty on the Lancers, an ineligible man downfield. I didn't even see the flag come out for that one. So Fairmont's starting to push the Lancers back via penalties.
I was going to say, I think it's more the Lancers.
Oh, no, they
pushing
declined it,
themselves
actually,
back.
to make it third down, which I think that's a smart play.
I think the refs even got fooled on that one, whether they were accepting it or not. The refs walked it back 5, now walking it back. So it's going to be second down. And there's another penalty
I think
flag.
that one's going to be an encroachment.
So we got a lot of laundry out here on the field very early.
So bring it back up first and about 16 now, or second and 16.
I think we have 3 offensive plays and 3 penalties.
So now Mattingly will be in the backfield, standing at around the 40.
Grant lined up beside him.
Mattingly back to pass, throws it to the outside called in by Beasley.
And I'll tell you what, Mattingly, he's getting the ball out of his hands so quickly. I mean, we're talking having the ball maybe a second before he's firing this thing away.
And Doty is getting work as he's the one who's guarding Mattingly. It's 3rd and 8 here for the Lancers offensively. If Fairmont holds it here, Mattingly, I believe he's also the kicker, holds a couple offers from FCS schools. Mattingly back to pass, throws it to the outside, and it is incomplete. So Fairmont's defense holds after LaSalle gets downfield quickly. And I think that was another Aiden Penix with coverage there on the outside.
Yeah, that was a tough throw right there by Mattingly. He threw it all the way back across the field, standing on the close hash to us. He threw it to the far sideline. And like you said, Penix was able to get there just in time, able to break up the pass, make it difficult.
Oh, sorry, the kicker is number 7, Mason Lunsman. He holds quite a few FCS offers, I found out.
And this one from 44
is up, and it is good. And LaSalle tacks on a field goal on their first opening drive and lead 3-0 here early against the Firebirds.
Knocking down 44-yard field goals like that, I guess that's why you get so many college offers.
I think the FCS might turn into D1s, or not D1s, but at least division offers here after this season for the kicker.
Yeah, I think at halftime we should have a kicking contest between him and Holt.
Him and Holt.
Yeah, that'd be a
Holt
good
has
one.
a couple D1 offers, so it'd be interesting. I don't think the band would appreciate that as much.
Not often that you have 2, great kicking prospects in
one game. Yeah,
we're talking high school. I mean, very rare.
.13 left here in the first quarter. We're going to see the Firebirds get the ball for the first time, and everybody knows what the Firebirds' bread and butter is going to be on this first drive, and I think they want to answer back with LaSalle driving down. They want to drive back down on their first offensive possession.
Yeah, and I think we were talking to a guy downstairs before the game, and he told us that pretty much everyone's game plan for Fairmont is you got to watch 6, 8, and 30. So, that's
Krieger, the quarterback at 6, Baker's 30, and Soso Poe at 8. He gets the pitch out a lot. And this ball is kicked off, and this one goes out of, I don't know if that went out of bounds or if that stayed in
I think that went through the back of the end zone, through the side of the end zone.
So Fairmont will start 1st and 10 at the 20.
But yeah, you want to talk about a three-headed monster from the, offensive attack. That's there's not many better rushing attacks that you're going to find across the state than what Fairmont has going here early in this season.
And it's all anchored right there to the left of the center, number 73, Enoch Cruz. A lot of the holes go that way, and Enoch is 6'2", 295, and can clear a hole that a car could drive through.
It's 6'2"?
Yeah.
Only 6'2"?
I think that might be a little bit off from the way he walked out and how he's towering over everybody else.
I was going to say.
Baker gets the first carry, and he will get about a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, when we were covering this Fairmont team for Midnight Hits, seeing Enoch Cruz, he looked 6'6", 6'7" at least.
And that was without pads.
Yeah, that was no pads. Guy's a monster, and he's a great leader too. You gotta love seeing that from one of your older offensive linemen. Great veteran leader.
There's actually a gain of 3 on the play, so Fairmont just a little bit under what Miller's told us. I want to get getting 4 or 5 on the play each time. You see Baker in the backfield, Poe here at the top of that line. He does come in motion a lot. You see there he goes in motion. Baker gets the handoff. Baker bursts through for a big hole, and he will be close to a first down.
Corey Beasley in on the stop. Nice job taking out Baker's legs. Went low on him because he's watched the film. He knows you're not going to stop Baker if you try and go high.
And that
bam, nice hit to the knees.
That was a first down run for Drew Baker.
He's well on his way to 400 yards on the season.
Oh, he'll have that by the end of probably by the end of this drive almost. If they give it to him each time?
Definitely by halftime.
Hand off to Baker. Baker goes to the outside. Baker takes 2 to bring him down. That's number 5. Taj Landrum. And I believe that was number 8. Dior Brumfield.
Just so far, the Firebirds doing exactly what we were expecting them to do. Just come out, hit you in the head a couple times with Drew Baker, and now they're starting to settle into this game plan.
But like we said, you got to watch out for the pass. A couple times in that altar game, Krieger would drop back, and if he wanted to, he could throw it, but he tucked it, faked us out a couple times.
Yeah, I feel like they called 5 or 6 different pass plays, more than what you typically see Coach Miller calling. But I'll tell you what, Krieger did a great job with his decision-making, never put the ball
Krieger
in danger.
Pitches it out there to Poe in the backfield. Poe trying to get to the edge. Poe cuts it back upfield and will actually get about a gain of 2 or 3 on that play. So nice run there by Poe with the pitch out.
Eli Moore in on the stop for the Lancers. And yeah, I really like that run there by Poe. It wasn't anything really fancy, but instead of dancing in the backfield, trying to make something happen when there was nothing there, he just decided, you know what, I'm just going to put my head down, run forward, pick up a few yards.
It'll be 3rd and 3 here for the Firebirds at about the 37, 38-yard line. Lots of people in motion here for Fairmont. Krieger under center. Turns around, he gives it to Baker. Baker dives forward. And be a 4th down play here coming up for the Firebirds.
That play call was a little bit of a head scratcher.
And it almost looks like they might have lost half a yard.
So that's going to send on the punting unit.
2.
As Holt is going to come onto the field.
16, like you said, Holt on to punt for the Firebirds. Play clock's down to 7. Holt, perfect snap to him, kicks it end over end. Kicks out of bounds. Well, I thought it went out of bounds. It's going to roll to the 20. And that is where the LaSalle Lancers will take over for their 2nd drive of the game.
And Jared, for our first update from our MVCC picks, from our friend who we did the picks with, Tony Peters. He's up there at the Elder Springboro game, and As of now, Elder is up 7-0 after Luke Flowers has a 1-yard touchdown run to open up the scoring with about 10 minutes left in the first quarter.
Still plenty of time left for Springboro to mount comeback.
I don't know if they're going to be able to make it happen, but I guess we will see.
See Mattingly going to line up here in shotgun to start this second offensive possession for the Lancers. You hear the student section of the Firebirds down there trying to pump this defense up. Hold to the outside, and actually a gain of about 3 on the play.
There's Grayson Chad there on the catch. Nice job, able to pick up a few yards before he's taken down. Grayson Holbrook, the first Firebird there.
Mattingly going to go, nobody in the backfield. He's an ISO, and there's 3 to the top. 1 comes in motion, and Mattingly's going to run it up the middle, and he will have enough for a first down.
That was a really nice rush there by Mattingly. It was a well-designed play. They had their wide receivers stretched out, so you don't have the box too crowded. Mattingly's able to take it up the left side or up the middle, I guess, and find a nice chunk of yards.
And you see they keep running away from number 44, Dalton Gusweiler.
I wonder why, Jared.
Because he can take out 2 defenders, and
that man is a monster.
But he still was there and ended up tackling at the legs, or part of that tackle, and he was lined up on the other side of the line.
Well, and I noticed on the first drive quite a few times already, they've double-teamed Gusweiler, just trying to slow him down.
And Gusweiler, you see, they almost got a paw on the ball.
And I think he did end up getting a hand there on Grant, but not nearly enough to slow him down. Grant explodes to the outside.
That's another first down for LaSalle.
Ball's going to come up to the 46. Nice stiff arm there by Grant. I believe that was Holbrook.
Yeah, Holbrook is playing at the right side of the field at the safety position between him and Doty. They split. You see Gusweiler down there at the bottom of the screen, number 44 on the edge. Back to pass, and Fairmont's going to get a big sack in the backfield. And that is number 10.
That's Maddox, Frank, and Dalton Gusweiler. He got double teamed on that play, and Frank was able to keep Mattingly up just long enough. He's not quite able to finish the job by himself, and then just in time, Gusweiler comes and takes him down.
And now you hear the band and the student section start to get louder at the south end of Roush Stadium. 2nd and 21. And a 4 wide receiver set. One-handed catch there by Mattingly. Open field catch by Brunfield. And he catches it, and Firebirds right there to swarm it. About a gain of 5 on the play.
And Bernicker, I believe that's his 3rd catch of the game. He's been very effective here early. Looks like one of the better weapons for this offense. But he got swarmed by Firebirds there.
Aiden Penix, one of the first ones there to hit contact and bring him down.
3rd and 15.
Mattingly 5 wide, 3 to the bottom, 2 to the top. Mattingly looks back over to the coach for instructions. Play clock's down to 5. I don't know if he notices. Play clock's at 2. And they don't get it off. And that's going to be a delay of game.
That was very close,
That
Jared.
was very close. Like that, you saw the ref had his hand on the flag, and then he saw the 0, and he threw it.
Yeah, and you see a lot of times in the college game or even in the pro that,
it's about a second or so delay that they get.
Yeah, it'll get down to 0 sometimes, and they'll let it go. But in that one, as soon as it hit 0, that ref was reaching.
That back judge was on it. He's like 0, throws the flag, and now it's 3rd and 20. Mattingly back to pass, going to roll out to the outside, throws on the run, wide open Brumfield, and overshoots him. And that was just a little bit too much air under that one, or Brumfield would have been.
Yeah, he
had
was
a huge first down.
Absolutely wide open. It was a great play by Owen Russell for the Firebirds, number 19. He stayed in his zone, and when Mattingly tried to roll out, Russell stepped up and made it so that he had nowhere to run with the ball. Made it so he had to throw it to Berniker, and he just overshot him by about 2 or 3 yards.
On the punt here. Low snap. Low kick. And Fairmont's going to let it bounce, and they field it at about the 22. Hold to the outside. He's at the 35 and runs into his own man.
And the ball comes loose.
I think Payne thought the ball when the flag kind of hit him, and he thought he lost the ball. So is there a flag if your own man blocks into you?
I'm not sure.
He ran into it. You can see right here. It's going to be probably blocking the back as he ran into Frank, who had that big sack with Gusweiler.
Really nice return by Payne, though. Able to make a guy or two miss and get upfield. And it looks like that is going to be on the Firebirds.
Be holding on the play. And he was holding. He held him and pushed the defender right into Payne. So that's going to take it back to about the 26. 2:53 left here in the first.
And that was a big penalty because they would have had the ball out near the 40.
Spot penalty. I think Fairmont's fine with taking about a 15-yard loss to get more time on the clock.
Krieger going to keep it.
Krieger makes a move. Late flag comes in. See what the refs say. It looks like it's coming out of the area of holding. Take a look here in the
Adamir
replay.
Carter in on the stop. Number 22, the first man there.
Oh, it's a face mask against the Lancers. So that's a 15-yard penalty, and that'll be a first down play for the Firebirds.
And just when the Firebirds lose that 15 yards,
they get it right back. Moves the ball out to the 46. Baker and Krieger standing there in the backfield. Poe at the top of the line. Number 8 there in the backfield. Poe goes in motion. And I'm surprised they didn't throw the flag there for a false start as Poe almost fell over. Poe in motion. Krieger turns around, hands it to Baker. Baker jumps over and gets to the 50 for a gain of 4 on the play.
Baker's just going to slowly continue to chip away. So another update from our MVCC Game of the Week picks. Right now, the Vikings of Miamisburg have a 9-0 lead over Harrison with about 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter.
That's a touchdown and a safety, I would assume.
Or maybe just 3 field goals, I don't know. Or maybe they missed the extra point and they got a field goal.
Oh, well, that's true as well. We'll do some digging at halftime and we'll let you know. Harrison has given up 3 safeties though this year, so I'm not surprised if that would be a safety.
How do you give up 3 safeties in 3 weeks?
Handoff. Krieger actually keeps it there. Krieger lowers the shoulder and will be close to a first down.
You got a big pop right there, I believe. That was Brady O'Connor, number 16. Nice job, get a good hit.
Krieger, it'll be about 3rd and 2 actually.
I just saw O'Connor was just sitting in the right spot the entire play. And it's like Krieger just lined himself up for it.
Got about an extra half a yard on the play. Here comes out the strong eye for the Firebirds. Russell in front of Gusweiler, in front of Baker. And Baker doesn't get it, I don't think.
I believe you're right. There was just not a lot of push up front right there. The Lancers big men doing a good job to slow down the Firebirds.
It's going to be 4th, and they say that's 4th and 2, and I think that's about 4th and, I don't even know if that's a full yard.
Big number 90, Peyton Abney getting in there, slowing things down, not allowing the Firebirds to get any sort of push.
And Fairmont does not have to hike it if they don't want to, and they're going to let this one go and end the quarter.
So I'm very interested to see what the Firebirds are going to do coming into the second quarter. A 4th and 2 in opposing territory. You're probably about 15 yards shy of field goal range. What are you going to do, Coach Miller?
I think that this is going to definitely be a 4th down opportunity here, but as we go into the first quarter in our Shoreholtz MVCC game of the week, LaSalle Lancers leading 3-0 over the Fairmont Firebirds, and we want to throw out a huge congratulations to Charlie in announcing he's retiring, and he's going to go hike the Grand Canyon within his first couple months of retiring.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I would not want to do that. No, I'm perfectly content sitting here and announcing games for a long, long time for MVCC. But best of luck to Charlie. And he told us to pass along, go ahead and stop on and then meet the new owners throughout the next couple of weeks, couple of months if you have any printing needs.
Just stop on in sometime.
So it's 4th and 2 from the 47. Fairmont looking like they're going to go for it, and you see Gus Weiler's on the field. You see Enoch Cruz is on the field. There's a lot of tonnage out there for the Firebirds. You see number 60 for Fairmont. That is Caden Paternak, 6 foot 245. And you see they're not lined up in front of Baker like we thought. They're all over on that right side of the line. And if you're LaSalle, you might think you would stack it. Baker gets the carry. Baker is stopped. As LaSalle read that one perfectly.
Alex Curry Ziegler, number 49, the big man, gets his nose in there. And it looks like
you talked about number 90 on the last play. He looked like he got down and disrupted some of the footing for the Fairmont offensive lineman.
So Peyton Abney and Curry Ziegler combining in there, all that tonnage, able to slow down the Firebirds.
Don't take my terminology, Andy.
My bad.
I'm working on getting that trademark. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the LaSalle Lancers at the 47. And Mattingly tackled in the backfield. That's a sack. Owen Russell with a sack there. And you see Gus Weiler was another one there. Look, Gus Weiler off the end.
See that MVCC Game of the Week replay. Actually, Gus Weiler was completely fooled on that.
Gus Weiler was tackling the running back, and Mattingly wisely pulled it out, but right there he's hit by Russell.
This Firebirds defense has been ferocious here early. Nearly just got Gus Weiler to jump.
Got back quickly at the 45. Mattingly back to pass.
Berniker at the top of your screen, wide open. Nice strike.
Berniker still stays on his feet, and Berniker tripped up, and there's a flag that comes in late. And could that be in the area of blocking downfield?
I do not know, but there's a Firebird who is very, very hurt right now.
That's number 32, Dawson Cahill.
Gonna look to see what he did. Oh, and he just
right there.
He got chopped in half on that play.
And that might be where the flag comes in.
Got the wind knocked out of him, it looks like. Gotta hope he's not actually hurt.
That one hurts me looking at that. I mean, he almost got folded in half.
Oh, got blindsided, it looks like. Ferocious hit.
See the training staff for both schools are out there. Cahill's still moving around down on the field.
And it looks like they're gonna
Cahill's
get him up.
And he's going to walk, he's going to limp off the field. No, they're not even going to learn. They're going to carry him off the field. And you can see he is in a lot of pain.
So, I guess say a prayer for the young man. Hope he's okay.
Cahill is a senior linebacker, defensive back linebacker, and you just hope that this is not the last time that we see him on the field this season for the Firebirds.
That is for sure, Jared. He's been a pleasure to watch here in his career.
So now we have to figure out the yardage for the penalty. You see the rest are lining up, so the chains never moved.
Oh, and it was about 15 yards downfield, so if they're going to call like an unnecessary roughness or personal foul of any type, I might not have to move the ball.
Yeah, true. And I think that's right. So that the first down happened, and then the penalty negated or off the spot foul. A little dial it down just went to second down. It's going to be 2nd and 11. And you see LaSalle's head coach is on the field. I think he's just as confused as all of us about what's going on.
Coach was wanting an explanation, but I guess we are ready to play.
So I guess nothing happens on the play because it's back where we were. 2nd and 12. Well, I guess the first down play is negated. So 2nd and 12 here for the Lancers. Mattingly back to pass. Mattingly sacked in the backfield by Gusweiler. And Frank again split that sack. And Gusweiler looked like he shot out of a cannon.
Yeah, it kind of looked like the Firebirds wanted a little revenge for their buddy on that play. They came.
Oh, nice spin move by Gusweiler. That looks like a J.J. Watt spin move. He got his hand over the shoulder of the one and spun around.
And they were double teaming him early. If you're going to slow him down tonight, I think you're going to have to keep doing it.
Triple team this man.
I don't believe he was double teaming that last play, but if you're going to stop him, you're going to have to at least send 2 bodies. It looks like Gusweiler and Frank are lined up next to each other yet again.
That could be bad for the Lancers. Back to pass, Mattingly. Gusweiler got there as he threw it, and it is almost intercepted and then almost caught by number 2, Tamiko Jackson.
And Gusweiler got there late. I'm a little surprised there was no flag for a late hit. Firebirds maybe getting a little lucky on that one. Because once again, he got there in time. Yeah.
And nice tip there by number, I believe that was 19. No, not 19 on Russell. That might have been Asa Dunleavy with the tip there for the.
And the pressure that Fairmont's been able to put
and this is a high
on
kick,
Mattingly.
Not really netting a lot of yards. Payne.
The first half has been excellent.
And Fairmont's just going to get away from it, and LaSalle's going to down it at the 34-yard line. And Fairmont's defense holds strong after not picking up that 4th down conversion. And they got decent starting field position here to start their 2nd drive of the game.
Well, and we're going to have to look back later in the game, see how big of a turn that play was right there. Because, Bernicker had a 1st down, had probably the best play of the game to that point, a great catch, and made a couple of Firebirds miss. Instead, you get the call or the play called back, and then you don't convert the possession. Now the Firebirds get the ball. See how big of an impact that is going to have on the game.
Krieger in the back or under center, going to hand it off to Poe's going to go in motion. Krieger back to pass, throws the middle of the field, and it is hauled in for a first down for the Firebirds. That is number 10, Frank?
I think that's Asa Dunleavy, yes.
Oh, okay, I do see the 8 now. That is 18, Asa Dunleavy.
That's the one bad thing about these silver jerseys. Sometimes you can't tell the difference in the numbers. But it was a really nice throw by Krieger, just a half step behind Dunleavy, but a great job to adjust his body, turn around, make the catch. Great pickup for the Firebirds.
Watch out for the pass.
Yes, sir. Always got to watch out for what Coach Miller's going to dial up. And that time, they got him.
Krieger going to go under center. Krieger going to keep it and dives forward and gets about a gain of 2 after I thought it was going to be a loss.
And I believe either Abney or O'Connor was able to get a hand on Krieger. Let's see this again. Yeah,
number 16, O'Connor.
O'Connor, nice job. It looks like he got his hand like right there in the shoulder pad and just kind of yanked him down. Great strength by the linebacker. 6'2", 205, sophomore.
We approach 8.5 minutes here left in the first half. Fairmont might have got him offsides, and I think they did.
I think the Firebirds jumped early on that one. Oh, and they're gonna call that. Good call, Jared.
Just call me Tony Romo. That's going to be a free 5 yards, and that's going to be close to a first down almost for the Firebirds. It'll be 2nd and 3. At the 47 of LaSalle. And Fairmont doesn't have to hike this one until about 7:45 left on the clock if they don't want to. And you see here at the bottom of the screen that edge rusher almost looks like he's offsides. There he backs
He's
up.
very close to the line.
And the ref right here is watching it.
But I think I'm straight on with the ref. He don't look offsides to me.
Baker gets the carry. Baker bounces to the outside. Baker, big hole. Baker 2 to 30.
And you see right there what the arm tackle does as it was Coy Beasley tried to bring down Baker with just the arms. You'll see him number 9 here at the end. And guess what? That's not going to slow him down at all as he takes 2 more Lancers, another 5 yards down to the 31.
Well, you saw in the Alter game we covered week 1, he had that fumble on the goal line. He's making sure he doesn't as he keeps both hands on the ball as they go down.
Yeah, definitely a very uncharacteristic play of Baker to leave that thing on the goal line, and he's been doing a great job ever since not to let that happen.
Baker gets the carry, and he dives, or tries to dive, and he's upended by number 8, Dior Brumfield. Gain of 1 on the play. So we approach 7 minutes left here in the first half. And you see Fairmont taking all the time off they want.
Nick Bruder, 18-yard interception return for a touchdown. Put the Elks up 7-0 right now.
Krieger keeps it. Krieger has a first down. Krieger stays on the field, and he is tackled from behind by number 5, but inside the 10.
As Taj Landrum does a nice job by the big linebacker to be able to chase him down. But Krieger just finds the hole, is able to slip back inside.
And nice there. Landon tries to knock it out, but Krieger covers it up with both hands. And I think he was kind of surprised that there was that big of a lane for him to run. Normally you don't see that big of a hole for...
Yeah, he saw all sorts of daylight, but the draw inside to Baker right now is working so well. It's drawing the Lancers in, and then he has the room to go outside and just do whatever he wants with the ball right now.
6:05 left here in the first half, and Fairmont is going to burn a timeout. They want to make sure that they get this first goal situation right, as they are looking to try and take the lead over the Lancers. And Fairmont, remind you, gets the ball to start the second half. Tonight's MVCC Game of the Week is proudly brought to you by Sherholtz, where if you've got something to print, they're there to help.
All right, so another update from around G-Walk down in Springboro. The Elks have tied, let's try that again. The Panthers have tied it up. It's Evan Rousseau with a scramble, and he's going to find Maxim Butler on a 17-yard score. Tie it up at 7-7. About 11 minutes left in the first half.
I will take that. Hopefully that comes back and helps me out in our picks. I'm trying to keep that lead, Andy. I know it's slim now, but when these teams start playing conference play and those matchups start taking two of our teams against each other, it's going to be not as much room to take. And I think Fairmont might have gotten them to jump again. Another offsides penalty against the Lancers, so that'll be take it from the 6, go to the 3.
And now as we take a look into the Miamisburg game, the Vikings are up 15-0 over Harrison. It's Vaughn to Davis for a long touchdown pass at the end of the first. Extra point was wide right.
Krieger under center. Baker at the right behind him, standing at about the 7-yard line.
Does that mean they've missed 2 extra points in this game already?
I don't know. I'll have to look at that.
Because they had 9, now they got 15.
Krieger turns around, hands to Baker. Baker plows through for a touchdown for the Firebirds.
And O'Connor did his best to try and slow him down, but you're going to need some more help there, buddy.
I don't think you're going to slow him down.
As you see, number 16 gets blocked by Asa Dunleavy with a nice assist for his big running back. Helps him get in the end zone. And I would say by this point, Baker has well over 400 yards.
On the season total, probably, yes. Luxury of being on the home side of a press box is we get half staff time.
Definitely always a plus.
Holt on to attempt the extra point. Holt's extra point is up, and it is good. Holt now 16 for 16 on the year for extra points, and Fairmont leads 7-3 in our MVCC Game of the Week, brought to you by Sherholtz with 5:25 left here in the first half.
16 for 16, the number 16. There you go. And then now as we take a look into the West Carrollton game, Stebbins at the end of one up 19-0.
Just having all sorts of weird scores around our coverage cities tonight.
Nothing normal around here, Jared. And then now looking, the Elks up 10-0 with 10 minutes left in the first half. There's a lot of scoring around the G-Walk here early tonight, Jared.
5:25 left here in the first half. Fairmont leading 7-3. Hold on to kick off here for the Firebirds. Fairmont with 2 timeouts. If they could get LaSalle to go 3 and out relatively quickly, Fairmont 2 timeouts could maybe get down the field again offensively.
Had to go quickly. Maybe had to draw up another pass play, but we'll see.
Or at least put it there. It's in their heads now, and Holt does that, like you said, patent it, fake. Although a couple times I've seen them kick off, they go for onside kicks. We saw that once last year in the Trotwood game when we covered it here, and once in the Springboro game, and it works.
Well, and when you do it, when you fake it every single time, I mean, at some point you're going to get someone to fall asleep.
And that one goes into the back of the end zone. I mean, not everybody's as successful as Pat McAfee is with onside kicks. I mean, that one in Houston, I mean, I think he said that's like his play of his career.
Yeah.
He said outside of that tackle he had against Denver in that return.
Yeah. Trendon Holiday? Is that his name? Yeah.
I mean, you can kick it exactly 10 yards right up the middle and nobody's there to cover it.
It almost looked like it was a blooper reel play.
It was for the Texans on that.
Yes, sir.
So LaSalle will start this one at the 20-yard line.
2 wide receivers at the top of your screen, 3 spread out to the bottom.
And Mattingly's going to keep this one and tackled again. And looky there, that's 34.
Tyler Atkins.
Tyler Atkins, the senior, with a tackle in the backfield for a loss of 1.
I think that's the first time we've called his name all season long, but he got a great jump on that play and was unblocked into the backfield.
And you see Owen Russell there swiping at the feet, and Gus Weiler was in the backfield again. Looked at the running back, got that block.
The front 7 of these Firebirds has been absolutely phenomenal here in the early going.
Mattingly back to pass. Sets up the screen, and it is incomplete.
As that one was a step behind Beasley, and Mattingly's going to want that one back. It was a really well drawn up play, as most of the offensive line, they fooled their blocking assignments. They were all let free to go block, but they just...
Right there, yeah, number 6.
It's just a step behind him.
Number 6, Grayson Shad. And I talked about Fairmont getting a stop quickly. 3 and out is what the Lancers are looking at if they don't pick up 11 yards here from the 19.
3rd and 11, and it's something that you really cannot afford against this Firebirds team. They will just go to work on your defense, really wear them out.
Mattingly back to pass. Mattingly middle of the field, and it is incomplete again. Intended to number 6, Shad, once again.
And on that play,
Mattingly... that one was too far in front of him, but I don't think he would have had the first down because he saw the defender for the Firebirds was right there.
Yeah, well, and on the last couple plays, Mattingly, he's had the best protection of the game, specifically on this play. They did a great job blocking. I mean, there wasn't a lot of pressure, but they did a great job blocking the 3 up front.
And you see they finally double-teamed Gus Weiler there.
And that one, I think that one goes against Shad, because you got to look the ball into your hands, got to catch the ball with 2 hands. Can't just put one hand out there and try and catch it, you know. Got to have a better effort than that.
This is a low kick again, fielded by Payne at the 50. Payne cuts it back in out to the 40 and pushed forward to about the 35. And Fairmont, excellent starting field position here.
With 4 minutes and 32 seconds on the clock.
Nice camera work following the ball through the air. And Payne, I thought he was going to be tackled there, puts the defender on skates and pushed forward about an extra 2 or 3 yards by 18.
That's the second or third
Mick
time.
O'Connor.
Second or third time he's done a really nice job of putting his foot in the ground, changing directions, and picking up a few extra yards.
4:32 left here in the first half. Fairmont with the ball, 2 timeouts. As we assume that the Firebirds are going to try to work out the rest of this clock. Krieger going to pitch it to Baker. Baker rolling to the left, and he's going to take about a 2 or 3 yard loss.
And you know, I did not think that was supposed to be a running play. When Baker,
you saw
after the pitch, after the pitch, and he kind of took a couple steps back, I thought he was going to try and throw that thing. Maybe it was in the cards, but he decided to just hang on to it.
Yeah, instead of forcing something that's not there, just take the 3 yard loss and stay on the edge of Holt's field goal range if something doesn't turn out.
That's one of those plays where I want to see the film room. I want to see the whole field on the film next time. I want to see if there's anyone out there running routes trying to get open.
Baker gets the Harry. No, Krieger keeps it for about a gain of 2 or 3. Might get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that is not a good sign for the Firebirds, as Cruz is He's trying to stomp something out of that
it's
foot.
It's almost like it's asleep, it looks like, or a cramp.
Maybe he got stepped on or something.
Here you see something we don't really see out of the Firebirds. Is Krieger over here at Coach Miller getting the play.
Well, maybe Coach got something special he's getting ready to dial up.
You see here, number 22, C.J. Myers is at the top of your screen. Poe split out wide right. Pitch out to Baker, blocking to the outside. Baker puts his foot in the ground and gets to about the 29, or the 31. Had to get to about the 26 for a first down.
A nice play design. Baker tries to stretch it to the outside at about the 33. He really just kind of puts his shoulder down, tries to lean into it, but he doesn't have enough to stretch for that first down.
This is going to be a 48-yard field goal attempt for Will Holt.
Do we know what his career long is?
45 last year against Beaver Creek.
So this is a new record.
This is a career-long attempt here for Holt and the Firebirds. Snaps good, holds good, kick is up, and it is good. Will Holt from 48 yards out.
And a beautiful kick by the kid.
And look at the celebration on the field.
17 for 17, and the Firebirds are ecstatic. I don't know if you could hear it, but up here in the press box, they were going crazy for it.
And that is a Firebirds record. We heard the PA guys say. Holt with a 48-yard field goal attempt there. And I mean, that is easily college level kicking right there. I mean, he might have a few more offers coming tomorrow morning.
Yeah, he's definitely sending that one out to every school in the country.
2:44 left in the first half. And you see Holt's going to be out there to kick off. Is that a little bit of a swagger walk out there for Holt? I mean, I'm sorry. If I hit a 48-yard field goal, I'm Conor McGregor strutting out there.
I was just about to say, after you set a school record, got to be feeling yourself after that one.
And Springboro takes a touchdown lead with 16 seconds left going into the half.
Oh my goodness, am I going to lose again? And now looking,
wrong Panther, Andy.
I guess, man. And now looking at the Vikings, they're up 22-0. Chris Davis going to take in a 6-yard touchdown.
And here we go, Holt on to kickoff. Booms this one. And this one's going to be into the end zone. And that is where the Lancers will start at the 20-yard line.
You want to talk about Will Holt having a good night. Sets a record.
2 touchbacks and a record for the books.
And we're just getting started.
We still got the second half, and thankfully we get to see the Firebirds 2 more times this year against Miamisburg and Springboro.
And that is going to be one to watch.
Which one? Oh, the Firebirds?
Yeah.
Last year when we did that game, Fairmont and Springboro were both undefeated to the point, and Springboro won 15-14. Springboro got the touchdown late, went for 2, went for the win. Mattingly, back to pass, throws a quick outside. That is
Bernicker.
All 3 timeouts here for LaSalle. 2:42 left here in the first half.
And you know, when LaSalle's been effective in this game on offense, it's been that quick passing attack from Mattingly. You know, you just get the ball out quickly. You can tell that they really don't have the best offensive line because Mattingly's been under attack a lot. So if you're able to, you know, keep drawing up to quick slants and stuff like that.
And Russell and Frank time to get in the backfield.
Right. If you can just keep drawing up quick slants for them, I think they'll be way more effective than trying to
and you
have
see,
him hold the
here,
ball and make plays.
Number 6 in the middle of the field, Shad, you think with those 2 drops, Fairmont might be playing off him a little bit. And Mattingly's going to keep this one and will get the first down run. Tackle looks like Frank and Russell were both there.
That was a great job by Mattingly making Owen Russell miss, as he looked like he was headhunting on that play. Does a nice little whoop, slides right by him.
First down for the Lancers. 2.5 minutes left here in the first half of our MVCC game of the week for week number 3. Fairmont leading 10-3. Mattingly going to hand it off here in the backfield to number 3 Grant, and he will be close to another first down, and I think he might actually have it. Now they're going to say he's pushed out of bounds about a yard short.
And so now looking in at the Centerville game, they're up 10-0 right now.
That should be about at the half, isn't it?
This says we're just into the second quarter.
We thought it was going to be a low-scoring game, and Centerville putting up 10 points there in the first quarter. Kind of surprising. I mean, Hannah Lincoln's defense has been strong, and I think they're going to. I think LaSalle. Could they be asking for a measurement?
Quick trip over to Miamisburg again, real quick. 29-0 Berg. 3.5 minutes to halftime.
You see here the refs are taking an official's timeout, and I think they're going to measure this one.
Bar to McGowan. I believe that's his first touchdown of the year.
Yes, that is. McGowan being used a lot as the decoy this year, but when he erupts, hopefully we're there at one of those games where he erupts.
Yeah, and he really had a really big game last week, but he had a few drops that were very uncharacteristic. And there was a couple
in triple and quadruple coverage.
That's true. There was a couple plays where, I mean, we were close to sending in some plays. The Sports Center, the one on the sideline, tiptoe, just barely wasn't able to get his foot down. He had one over the middle that was spectacular, but not quite able to haul in. I mean, he was completely draped.
Nothing ever will beat the play that I saw him. He's going up the middle of the field, up the seam, and that one-handed grab he had going to the ground against Alter last year was something insane to see. And then also his one-handed catch to beat Springfield last year. And that was Springfield's only loss till they lost to eventual champ St. Ignatius. And the officials didn't measure. I don't know why they stopped the clock. And there's a tackle in the backfield for a loss, and I think we're safe to say it looked like Russell and number 25, Aiden Penix, again in there for another stop.
So I guess it was an injury timeout. It was kind of along the sideline, so we missed that one.
It'll be 3rd and 7, a loss of 5 on that play.
That's another great thing about being up in the press box. You get a lot more information.
Actually, it's not 3rd and 7, it's 3rd and 3. The scoreboard was wrong. And 6 seconds left on the play clock. Mattingly, it's down to 3. They've had a delay game called, and he gets it off. Mattingly going to keep it and run. Stiff arms, but doesn't get away from Gusweiler.
I believe that is
actually
Atkins.
number 34, Atkins. I'm telling you, these great number jerseys are hard to see. It's going to be 4th down, and Fairmont takes a timeout. 1:10 left. And the punter hasn't been the best for LaSalle. You think Fairmont maybe trying to score again before the half?
Only 1:10. They have a lot of field that they're probably going to have to go. That'd be a
we saw
tough
Drew
one.
Baker run for an 80-yard touchdown against Alter, though.
That's true. We saw we saw the backup run for a
and Baker,
50-yarder,
Brock
right?
Baker had about a 45, 50-yard run.
Yeah. So they can definitely do it, but we will have to see what happens.
Or with a minute 10 left, are you just trying to send everything in the kitchen sink at this one and just blow the punter up? I mean, if you run into the punter, it's 5 yards, a minute 10 left, and your defense has been working its own plays against the LaSalle offensive line. So,
but you know what? Actually, I said why not a second ago. I would say just keep it conservative, because if you hit the punter, you give them the 5 yards, they continue their possession. What if they go down and kick a field goal? Then you're a 4-point game, and that could get ugly.
Russell tried to get there, and there's a low kick fielded by Payne along the sideline. Payne gets out of bounds. There's a flag in on the play.
So we're going to see what the call is. Most of the time in this situation, it's a block in the back.
A block in the back or a hold along the sideline. So a minute 2 left here in the first half. Fairmont's going to start at about the 30-yard line. We saw him hit. Who was that Krieger hit? Was that Penix? Or no, that was Dunleavy, I think, that he hit on that quick pass.
Yep.
We'll see what happens. Krieger's 2 for 3 on the air, and he did have a 30-yarder to
Drew Baker
in the Alter game. I guess all you got to get is to the 40, and Holt can connect.
That's true.
So they're about 30 yards from target field goal line.
Poe in motion. We're going to go up the middle to Baker.
Keeps it, goes up the middle. Be about a gain of 8 on the play.
And that's one of the reasons why they say you just got to keep your feet moving as a running back. He stumbled through the offensive line, and then he was able to find a little gap and pick up about 10 yards on the play.
Fairmont letting the play clock or the clock run, and maybe depending on what they do here, if they pick up the first down, maybe.
Taj Landrum was the first Lancer in on the stop.
About a 15-second difference between play clock and game clock.
Well, and I guess Coach Miller is just content with taking the 7-point lead into halftime.
I am too. The way LaSalle drove that first game, or that first drive, and Krieger tackled at about the line of scrimmage. And I think Fairmont's going to be done with that, and they're going to let that one go into the half. And LaSalle trailing 10-7 or 10-3 to the Fairmont Firebirds as we go to the halftime. We'll be back for the bands after our highlight plays of the first half. We'll be back for the second half of the MVCC Varsity Game of the Week as the Fairmont Firebirds lead 10-3.
This song was first recorded by the Nicole and was inspired by a woman named Dorothy Fruit, who was a native of Steubenville, Ohio. She had a career as a singer in the 1960s and used the name Snoopy as a stage name. Dorothy Fruit passed away in Mississippi years ago, but her song will live on in the hearts of Buckeye fans everywhere. We close tonight's show with Hang On Snoopy!
back as we get ready to start the second half of our MVCC game of the week for week number 3, presented by Sherholtz. Fairmont leading 10-3 at the half, and the Firebirds will get the ball to start the second half. Andy, why don't you go ahead and fill us in on some of our halftime scores and our MVCC picks?
All right, so I guess we're going to go ahead and start out with Springboro and Elder. Borough is up 14-7 right now. So
I got that one. That's the deciding game.
Right so far, and well, everything else is just complete blowouts. I mean, well, okay, so the Elks in Lincoln, that's actually only a 10-point game. Elks up 10-0. But then
a lot of fumbles in that game I saw on Twitter by both teams.
Yeah, the Elks, they fumbled twice there in the second quarter. Really hurt them. They could have taken a big lead, and then it would have been a blowout right now. But then Berg is on top of Harrison, 36-0. Ross trailing Valley View, 17-0 at half, and my alma mater Stebbins up 33-0 over West Carrollton.
So that is how we're doing. And I'd like to make a note that I've got all the games right so far this week.
All of them?
All of them.
Oh man.
Stretching
I'm gonna start falling behind.
Did I tell you that the loser does the ice bucket challenge after week 10?
When did we decide this?
I decided that last night.
I think we might have to do a poll or figure something out.
Well, we can put it out there and people can vote, but I think the ice bucket challenge is...
Actually, I don't know. I might just stick with the ice bucket challenge. It could get worse. I have no clue what these people could give me.
And really, Fairmont up 10-3, but it is by the leg of Will Holt kicking that 48-yard field goal just before their last drive of the half. And I was seeing him out here. He was kicking from the 40.
Yeah, and if he didn't already have enough Division I scholarships,
he's going to have
a couple more after this weekend.
All right, Fairmont out on the field, LaSalle out on the field, and we are about ready to kick off this second half. LaSalle on to kick off the second half.
And a new update from the Springboro and Elder game. Springboro stretches the lead to 20-7.
All right. I will take it. And that ball goes, and that one bounces, just curves inside the pylon and goes out of bounds. That is a save there for the Lancers. That's the second time it's been close to going out of bounds, and the end zone has bailed them out.
Yeah, and it was a nice read by Cameron Payne.
He was going to let it go, and
waited to the very last second.
Let it go too. So Fairmont gets the ball to start this third quarter, and 12 minutes on the clock, and let's see how much is on the clock when Fairmont's done with this first drive of the second half.
I'm gonna
go
say
over under.
Under 7.
I'll go under 6.
Under 6. Okay, there we go. Baker lined up in the backfield, because who else would be there?
So Poe comes in off the edge. I don't know if Poe has the strength to be out there like that. Baker gets about 5 on the play. Tackle on the play by number 17, Carter Kinniger.
First time we've called his name tonight.
And his name, looking at the stat sheet, he had coming into the game with double-digit tackles, and I don't know if he just wasn't starting in that first half.
Yeah, I really expected him to have a bigger impact early.
Handoff goes to Baker. Oh, Krieger actually kept that one, and a flag on the play.
And he's going to be taken down by Brady O'Connor.
And that's going to be a hold against the Firebirds.
And that was one of the keys to the game. Going to have to limit the penalties. They did a really good job of that in the first half. But here on this first drive.
That's a spot penalty, so it'll take them back to the 13, 14. There's going to be second and 14, or actually the 17, sorry. Second and 13.
Second and 13.
really, if you're LaSalle, you maybe think about maybe declining that. At least be third down. Now you give Fairmont 2 more chances to take the ball. And Baker gets the pitch to the outside. Baker drops a shoulder on one, but stays, or number 4 looks like stays with it. B.J. Ross.
He just ran over Coy Beasley there, but like you said, after he dropped that shoulder, B.J. Ross able to stay in there. Does a good job squaring up. Nice tackle.
It's going to be 3rd and 16. Actually, a loss of 3 on the play.
It was a really nice job by Ross. A lot of times, defensive backs, they kind of afraid to go and try and pop a running back like that.
Especially Baker's side. I don't think I would be one to hit him. How if he's got a full head of steam coming at you. Krieger going to go back. He's going to roll to the right. Krieger keeps it.
And he is swarmed with Lancers.
About a gain of 3 on the play.
I believe that was Taj Landrum, the first number 5 in there on the play.
Hold on to punt here for the Firebirds as they go 3 and out.
And that is definitely not how you wanted to start out the half. And we were both way off on the over-under for that drive.
And talking with Miller before games, not necessarily this one, but
and that one was nearly blocked.
Low booming kick, or low kick there but it's going to take a Firebird bounce and go back to about the 35. We talked about it with Miller when we did our show and just talking with him before games. Holding penalties stalls out this team's offensive drives and really kills them because, you take 10 minutes or 10 yards, they get 3 or 4 play. 4th down manageable. You back them up 10 more and you got 20 yards. It's hard for the Firebirds to execute.
Yeah, that is one of the few downsides of the system that Coach Miller runs. When you don't pass the ball, your ability to pick up chunk plays is limited, and so you can't get behind schedule. Getting behind schedule is something that he really focused on in our conversation. Which, if you have time and want to hear from Coach Miller.
Here's a handoff in the backfield. There's a flag on the play. And you were talking about, Miller had such a successful stint up in Covington. He had 8 undefeated seasons. I think he told me as far as, the regional finals, which is 3 wins away from state.
Mm-hmm.
But one that stood out, he had a 46 conference game winning streak in that 8 perfect season.
And that's just phenomenal.
And that was playing in a conference against Marion local. I'm trying to think of other schools that are up in that area, but those schools up there are no slouches in that Division 4.
A lot of them are smaller schools, but man, they play really good football up there in the farmlands here in Ohio.
Mattingly back to pass, throws it to the outside to, I believe that was 14.
Berniker.
And Berniker called his name a lot, but he's getting a lot of screen passes, and he's made a couple go upfield, but that one still from the first quarter, he's wide open for 3rd down and just got airmailed. It's going to get about a gain of 7 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 18.
But then kind of like you were talking about, Jared, once Coach Miller got here, it took him about a year to turn things around, but he was able to get Fairmont to win a couple of playoff games. They've turned things around with against Alter over the last 5-6 years.
4-2 against Alter in his time here. High snap to Mattingly. And
the pressure comes quickly, and that is Gus Weiler.
Gus Weiler with a big sack, and that's why the man's a captain, and he has quite a few D1 offers. I think he's went to Army a few times on recruitment trips. I know he's been up to Michigan a couple times, so nice to see Gus Weiler maybe playing at we will see him playing at the next level next year.
Yeah, and
I think it's his decision on where.
He may upset a lot of friends and family if he decides to go up north, but I'll tell you what, it would be a pleasure to see that guy play in the maize and blue.
Mattingly going to roll to the right, and there's another hold.
And
that one's thrown incomplete, and I don't think they threw the flag on it.
They did not. I'm surprised we're not seeing laundry on that one, as that one was kind of obvious. Maddox Frank did a really nice job. Got a great jump off the right side.
Pushed behind him.
Beat the guard, or excuse me, beat the tackle. Yeah, we had a really great talk with Coach Miller before the season, and if anyone's interested in hearing that interview, you can go ahead and check on our
That one almost looked like it actually might have got blocked.
YouTube page for
Payne picks it up at the 45, trying to make a move, and he will be stopped at about the 46 maybe, and Fairmont will have decent starting field position to start their second drive of the half.
You can go ahead and check the MVCC YouTube page and go ahead and catch that interview. It was a great sit down.
Learned quite a bit about Coach Miller that we didn't know. I mean, I didn't know that he coached up in Kenton for a year, and then I knew about Twin Valley South, but I didn't know about what he did. I mean, he went to Centerville.
Well, I was going to say, I didn't know he's from Centerville, and now, you know, he's on the other side of the rivalry, and it's a great sit down with Coach. Really appreciate the time that he took out to come and talk to us. And just the access he gives us to the program, you know, being here for midnight hits and all.
There's a run to the left side up the middle for Baker. Picked up about a gain of 4 or 5 on the play.
Adamir Carter, first guy in there, number 22. And on the stop.
See, watch Baker jumps through, and I thought he was going to cut it back out more left, but
comes from the second level.
Comes in.
Carter comes from the second level to make that stop.
Play clock is down to 5. Krieger sends him in motion. Krieger going to keep it. Krieger tries to get to the outside and might gain 3 on the play.
And I kind of think that one was a mistake. I feel like he definitely should have pitched that one out to Dunleavy.
It looked like Dunleavy might not have. I mean, Dunleavy might have told him, no, don't pitch, because yeah, he's kind of waiting for it, but then it looked like the stumble there you see in the replay. Krieger stumbled a little bit and just went to the ground. And we've seen in triple option, not just against Fairmont, but a lot of triple option cheating. I mean, that pitch isn't perfect, and it's on the ground. So it'll be 3rd and 3 here for the Firebirds.
Something that Miller preaches is ball security. And we saw him fumble the ball one time in that week 1 game against Alter, but not really
Baker
since.
First down run and big hole to the left, and he will be inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line.
And when he drops that shoulder, he's just a wrecking ball. Runs over B.J. Ross. And Ross just met the ground.
Didn't really have anywhere to go except down for Ross. Ball to the 38. Baker with a gain of 7 on that last play.
Update from West Carrollton, 46-0 now. The Indians.
And Krieger keeps it, and Krieger going to get hit right at the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by number 8, Dior Brumfield. And you see there, that might not have been the best read by Krieger. It looked like Baker could have slipped through there because Brumfield looked like he was going after the quarterback from the beginning of the play.
Look into the Miamisburg game, 43-0, 11 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Vonda Davis on a 70-yard pitch and catch.
Oh my goodness, that's Davis' second long touchdown of the game.
He's just having a season.
Krieger back to pass. No, he's going to tuck it and run, and will be sacked for about a loss of 1 on the play.
There was a lot of pressure on that one, as Abney is able to get the sack, first of the game. And as soon as Krieger drops back, there's the pocket begins to fall apart as Jake Rhodes is also there. First man get in the backfield.
On by Enoch Cruz. coming up from the huddle.
Add insult to injury.
What are you doing? I'm on your team. Don't land on me. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 here from the 39. Krieger going to pitch it out to Baker. Baker trying to get to the outside. Makes one man miss. Baker. I think they called him out of bounds.
Just a great job by Baker. He was trying to race his way to the edge, and then he realized that he was not going to be able to beat Beasley. So what does he do? He just lowers that shoulder.
And you see there, that one he puts him on the ground, eludes that tackle, and
he's able to make Landrum miss.
And looky here, this is going to be a 52-yard attempt for Will Holt.
He set a record about 45 minutes ago. We're going to see if he's ready to set another one.
$52 yards out for Holt. Snaps good, holds good, kick is up on the way, and it is just
shy. Oh my goodness, what a kick. And that thing, I mean, if it has another 2 feet.
I think if he was about a yard closer, I think that would have been good. Let's see if we can take a look at that replay. That was right under. Looked like it went right under the crossbar.
Beautiful kick by Holt, just not enough on that leg. You give him a couple more weeks in the weight room, and we come back, I bet he hits that one.
And insult here for the Lancers, they get the ball, but they go back to the 20. They don't get the ball where the Firebirds missed it from.
That's one of those high school rules I always forget.
So LaSalle takes over at the 20 after the missed field goal. Here's a quick out pass and hit immediately by number
Beasley.
15. Grayson Holbrook.
Beasley's had an active game, both sides of the ball.
See here, Mattingly going to send one to the top of the screen. Play clock down to 10. Looks like LaSalle looking a little bit confused, getting the play called in between. You see man goes in motion. Mattingly going to hand it off. Big hole to the outside, still on his feet.
Cuts back.
Back across the field. He has a first down and tackled there by number 1, Cameron Payne.
And Jalen Grant, that's the biggest game play of the game for LaSalle. Number 33, you see him before the play. Devin Bird goes in motion, and then he's able to get out in front to be a blocker. Does a great job, gets in the way of, that was Tyler Atkins. He's able to help open up a hole.
And Doty almost got him there with almost could have been a horse collar tackle if he got that hand in there. LaSalle with a little bit of life after their biggest play of the game. And they're going to hand it off here to number
26.
Tyrone
Going to
Brown.
make a couple of guys miss and step out of bounds after a gain of about 3 on the play. And that was a nice job by Brown, being shifty, making guys miss. He was only able to pick up a couple on the play, but
2nd and 8. Mattingly back to pass, take a 2-step drop, and Mattingly is back in the backfield, and look who it is, number 34 for the Firebirds, Tyler Adkins.
And I'll tell you what, once we call a Firebird's name, we just start calling it out again and again. They just keep making plays.
And Adkins kind of playing that linebacker role there on that play.
They've moved him all over the field in this one, and he's been very effective just about wherever he's been.
3rd and 18, back to the 32-yard line. And it's going to be an offsides. But I thought it got back before the defender moved. So it'll be 5 yards for the Lancers, so it'll be 3rd and 12, or 3rd and 13. And we've seen 44 Gusweiler at the top of the line for the Firebirds. He's been standing. He's been in that three-point stance. We've seen him standing over to the side more, trying to find a way to get around the rush. And you see there, he has 2 people up there ready to block him. Spin move by Gusweiler. Mattingly airing it out. And it is incomplete.
Stevie Doty III, who else? He's been making all sorts of plays in coverage for the Firebirds this year.
Well,
And
Doty had an interception against Alter, and then he had that punt block return.
yeah, and he was ready for that one the entire way. Great coverage by the veteran corner.
At the end of the replay, that almost could have been offensive pass interference as he kind of went through Doty to try to get back to the ball, or at least knock the ball down. So 4th and 13, 50 seconds left.
The kick is
Third
away.
quarter. Payne fields this one at the 29. Payne runs upfield. Payne tries to stop, and
There really was nowhere to go for Payne on that one. He's going to be holding his leg. So they're going to whistle everything dead, and we're going to have a
that looks like
injury
a cramp.
timeout.
You see,
Got to hope it's
there.
just a cramp.
Still a relatively hot week 3 here in the Miami Valley.
Yeah, well, it's Centerville now, or excuse me, it's
Oh, you see
September
the-
now.
You see the way he kind of planted that foot. You kind of see that calf muscle tighten. Gives me a Charlie horse just looking at that.
Yeah. He's able to get up and walk off under his own power. But it's September now, so things should start to cool off a little bit as we get into fall. As we get into
We all know, everybody watching knows that Ohio's weather is bipolar. It could be snowing tomorrow and then be 89 on Sunday.
well, it probably will be. It'll be 110 for the holiday.
Ooh. Remind you, everybody in Kettering watching, be sure to tune in to the YouTube on Monday about 10 o'clock as we will be streaming the Holiday at Home Parade this year, as we do every year. So 42.2 seconds left here in the third quarter. I mean, we all know Fairmont's just going to take one play, and this will be the end of the third quarter. But it's after this play, it's LaSalle's defense has got to step it up to try to get them the ball back.
Yeah, you really don't want to just let Fairmont run this
And
thing
what a
out.
big run there, Baker for a first down.
And you know, on that play, the line, those Blue Hogs, they were not really able to make a big hole. But, you know, you just kind of saw Baker disappear into the back of that line, and then all of a sudden, boom, he comes out of nowhere.
And you see there leading the way, number 74 for the Firebirds, Colton Green, 6'4", 294. He made a big hole to run through. And
I think that's the biggest guy on the team. 293, good Lord.
oh no, Cruz is a pound heavier than him at 294 or 295. That is a lot of weight on the Firebirds offensive line there on the right side.
Big man, and they're not going to just let the clock run out. They're going to give it
kinda
to
surprised about.
Baker.
And that is how the third quarter will end, on a 2-yard run by Drew Baker, but Fairmont leading 10-3 going into the fourth quarter of our MVCC Game of the Week, presented by Sherholtz. What does LaSalle have to do here, Andy? It's 2nd and actually 9. It's only a gain of 1. But what does this defense have to do to try to get the ball back and have a little bit more time?
Well, I mean, they're going to have to continue to stuff the box, but as we talked about at the beginning of the game, you can't fall asleep and not, you know, at least have somebody waiting for the possible pass, because every single time somebody decides, okay, they're running the ball, we know they're running it this time, then Coach Miller pulls it out of his back pocket and they go over the top, get behind you, and there's a big play. So you know, you gotta try and stay disciplined. Don't want to commit too many guys to the box, but at the same time, I mean, you gotta find a way to slow this team down. You can't just let them eat another 5-6 minutes off the clock.
There's not really a happy medium in trying to defend this Firebirds team. I mean, we've seen it in 5 years we've been announcing together. But even, well, he's been here. This is Miller's 7th year, but I mean, the year they beat Centerville 28-20 a couple years ago in Centerville, what did it was 3 passes that Fairmont had in the first quarter, in the first half, that led to, I mean, one was like a 57-yard touchdown pass, and the others led up to touchdowns for the Firebirds. And I would, depending on the play and the time, I would say Miller's not afraid to call a pass just to get that first down.
Well, in the interview that we had with him, before the season,
Baker bursts through the
nice run by Baker.
Gets tackled by the secondary.
Pick up a 7 or 8 on the play. But yeah, in the interview that we had with him before the season, he didn't really say it, but he kind of hinted.
He emphasized that he has about 10 to 15 calls where it could go either way. And we've seen a couple tonight with Baker when he switches hands. He looked like, oh, maybe that was one of those passes. Or
the one time Krieger did throw it. There's another time where he pulled it down and, he didn't throw it. But so, yeah, Coach really, he hinted to us that he was going to open it up a little bit more. And I feel like we've seen that here in the early going. Not necessarily actually having the pass attempts. There's been a couple times where he's drawn it up,
Baker gets
and then they ended up
to the left. There's a flag
running it instead.
And a fumble.
And that is exactly what the Lancers needed, as the ball is going to come out of Baker's hands. I believe that's only his second turnover of the season. Very uncharacteristic. Going to try and see which Lancer is able to knock it out. But you can see right there, Baker never really got a good hand on it.
Let's see what
the ball's just kind of rolling around down there. I believe it was number 16 who was able to jump on top of that, Brady O'Connor.
So 11:10 left in the fourth quarter. LaSalle gets a turnover, or forces a fumble. And if you're LaSalle, you've got to execute on this. Trailing by 7.
Yeah, there's a big opportunity for LaSalle. They were able to stop Fairmont while they were driving, getting the ball back, have a chance to turn this thing around, tie it up, turn this thing into a new ball game.
And there's a Wildcat formation as number 11. No, it was an 11.
There's 3. There's
number
Grant.
3, Grant takes the snap.
A little bit of a different look right there.
And you see here, the quarterback and running back both took 2 steps to the right before the ball was snapped.
Yeah, but there was no fooling Gus Weiler and Atkins there. It's 34 and 44 team up.
I mean, it's just like they see where the ball goes, and it's just like they meet it there.
They're very disciplined. They've stayed in their gaps all night long. No one's gotten out of position.
The double team well. And Mattingly's going to keep it, and Mattingly, you see there, number 25, Atkins, or Penix, sorry. He almost looked like he had his hand there trying to knock the ball out. And just like that, it's quick 3rd down here for LaSalle, 3rd and 6 from the 46.
Yeah, and a great job by the Firebirds, able to get into the backfield, create penetration, push back the Lancer offensive line.
And that's what we've talked about. We saw in the Alter game, Fairmont turned it over 3 times, but the defense was back with it, and actually
dominant.
They got 2 turnovers forced back. The Firebirds defense did.
Yeah, they've just been absolutely dominant up front this season.
And LaSalle is going to call a timeout. 9:44 left. That play clock was down under 5.
You take a look around G-Walk real quick. The Miamisburg Vikings now up 43-0 over Harrison.
We need an update on that Panther game, Andy.
I'm looking. We'll see what I can find.
At the end of the 3rd quarter, Elders leading 21-20.
Aha! And the other Panthers strike back. Big quarter there for him.
They have scoring 14-6. Big 3rd down here for LaSalle. 9:44 left in the game. 3rd and 6 from the 46. Depending on what they pick up here, do you think this is 4-down territory?
Oh, that's
Or do you-
borderline because you really don't want to give Fairmont back the ball with good field position.
Mattingly back to pass. Mattingly,
Pressured immediately, nowhere to go.
and Fairmont's defense comes up with a big open field tackle there by number 10, Maddox Frank.
And Maddox Frank having the game of his life right now.
And you
He's
see-
got a sack or two.
Almost a sack there, and the Lancers are staying on the field. They're going for it on 4th and 4.
Big time play. Maddox up at the line, changing the play.
Mattingly changing something at the line fiercely. Play clock is 15, and you can hear the cheers come. You can feel the stadium rumbling here on the home side of Roush. Mattingly back to pass, quick out to the outside, and it is complete, and there's a flag on the play.
Big time catch to who else? It's
14.
that guy, Xander Bernecker. Every single time the Lancers have needed something tonight, they've gone to him, and he's come up big.
And I think the penalty might be roughing the passer there at the end.
They might have called a face like that. It looked like.
See if we can take a look at that replay again. You see here. No, it's not a face mask. You see
It's
there.
very close.
Excellent work by the replay department to slow that down frame by frame. And you see he grabs the inside of the jersey. And okay, it was the roughing the passer. I saw at the end right before Mattingly threw it. I think that might have been Penix that come off the edge and hit Mattingly right in the hip as he let go. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 29. 8:57 left here in the game. LaSalle driving now. Mattingly looks to the sideline for instruction. And you see Grant goes to his left. People in motion. Grant's going to get the carry. Grant bounces it to the right side and tackled, maybe for a gain of 1. And I think Frank again with another tackle for the Firebirds.
We've just been calling his name all night long, and he's just been making huge play after huge play. And there you go, Jared. It was Frank's. Big number 33 in motion.
Going to turn around. Mattingly, I don't know, and he didn't get rid of the ball. And a big sack by none other than Maddox Frank again.
And how many times are we going to call this young man's name tonight?
I mean, you see here, I thought it was going to be a sack from the outside. But you see here, Frank, I don't know why Mattingly just didn't try to get rid of it there. I mean, obviously you can see Frank closing in. And that is about a loss of 7 on the play.
Maybe Mattingly didn't want to maybe throw that one and it get tipped up because Gus Weiler was right behind Mattingly.
And now you feel Roush rocking once again. Everybody's on their feet for this 3rd and 16 for LaSalle. Mattingly back to pass, throws the middle of the field, and it is intercepted by the Firebirds. Number 25, Aiden Penix, comes up with a huge interception with 7:08 left in the 4th quarter.
And just a minute ago, Aiden Penix had the roughing the passer call, which gave the first down to LaSalle. And right here, he makes up for that mistake. Great coverage. The pass was a little high by Mattingly. The ball is going to go through the hands of Bernecker. And then Penix is just waiting in the wings for the ball to just fall into his arms. And now this is exactly where Fairmont loves to be. About 7 minutes left, 1-score game. They can just melt the clock away.
Hand off to Baker. Going to go to the left side. At a gain of 3 on the play. And 40 seconds added to the play clock, and Fairmont is going to take it down to 1 every time from here till the rest of the game.
As Coach Miller is just going to do his best to melt this clock. You know, I'll tell you what, Jared, at the beginning of the game, we kind of said that Salle did not do a great job of traveling when it comes to fans tonight.
They must have been in the parking lot tailgate.
Yeah, they were just hanging out outside the stadium before the game.
Well, it might have been a long line at the concession stand, too.
I mean, there's at least 5 times as many LaSalle fans
Baker here. Baker
as there
bursts
was
through
earlier.
across the 45.
And Baker, pickup of about 9 on that play.
It's going to be close. That's about a half a yard short of the first down. 3rd and 1 with 6 minutes left and counting. Here comes out the strong eye with the tonnage of Gus Weiler and Pardonek in front of Baker. Baker gets the carry. Baker hurdles over, and
I'm not sure if he got it. As the Lancers have done a great job all night of in these very short yardage situations, they've done a really good job of stuffing the Firebirds.
And the refs say it's a first down for the Firebirds.
As it looks like he might have had it by about 6 inches.
So you saw Fairmont took over at the 37-yard line with 7:08 left in the game. Here we're approaching almost 2 minutes of them having the ball, and they've went 10 yards.
And that is just Dave Miller's calling card.
Option. Run the ball down their throats until they can stop it. Offense. Krieger's going to keep it. Krieger dances to the outside across the 50.
Krieger got blown up there on that play.
Number 9, Coy Beasley.
And Brady O'Connor was the first man to make contact. Krieger was running hard, and you see he just kind of stops right there.
And you see right there, as soon as he got hit by O'Connor, he puts both hands on the ground and just falls. Because I would assume that's a lot of running in practice if you fumble the ball.
Yeah, especially on a team like this.
4:18 left and counting in the game. 2nd and 5 for the Firebirds here with a 7-point lead. Baker gets the carry. Baker bursts through and has enough for a first down for the Firebirds.
And as Fairmont just keeps churning out these yards, the clock is just slowly ticking away. 4:05 remaining.
And Fairmont, even if they don't get a first down from here, if they pick up 7 yards, they're back inside Will Holt's field goal range. As earlier in this game, set the school record with a 48-yard field goal. Krieger going to turn around, hand it to Baker. Baker makes one-man miss, stays on his feet, and gets down to about the 35.
And that's what that guy does best. He just sheds tacklers.
Tackled there by Peyton Abney.
Keeps his legs moving. Number 22 had a really nice shot, but, I mean, you got to make sure you wrap him up. You can't just leap at the guy. There's no way that that's going to stop him.
And you got to sit and look. This LaSalle team, they're 2 years away from the state runner-up. Last year they went to the regional finals for Division II, so that was 3 wins away from state. So this team, I mean, Fairmont is taking it to this team that is expected to make deep runs in the playoff. Baker dances through, has enough for a first down for Fairmont.
You can see him right there, grasping onto that ball tightly.
They didn't give him the first down. It's like 3rd and 2 chain links.
Got upended just a little short.
And here comes out the strong eye again. You see number 19, Owen Russell. Number 44, Dalton Gusweiler. You know, I know it's not going to happen, but what would this side erupt if they turn around and hand it to Gusweiler instead of Baker for once?
Did you say would this side erupt?
Yeah.
I mean, we felt
Baker.
this stadium shaking about 3 or 4 times tonight. If they give it to Gusweiler, this place is going to be just bouncing.
First down for the Firebirds and Baker.
So now we're going to take a look at the Springboro score. It's still 21-20 headed into the fourth quarter.
Need the Panthers, the Springboro Panthers.
I need the other Panthers.
A minute and a half left. Krieger gives it to Baker. Baker spin move and maybe gets to the line of scrimmage.
All right, so the most recent update from that game, Springboro drives to the 5-yard line, but is penalized for hurdling. Field goal is no good. Elder takes over, 7.5 minutes left, up 1.
Well, the athletic director just updated as you were saying that. It is Springboro's D forces a punt. Springboro gets the ball at their own 44 with 6:02 left.
And that was a short possession.
Here's a tight one, not in our coverage area, but Wayne up 10-9 at the end of the third quarter, going up against Pick Central, who is a top 5 team in the state for D1.
And then, okay, final from Harrison. Vikings 43, Harrison 14.
Yeah, with the running clock.
Harrison able to put a couple of touchdowns in the end zone in the fourth quarter, make it look a little bit more respectable.
And timeout ending here. And here's just a feel-good story. Beaver Creek is up 53-17 over Pontus. They snapped, I think, like a 12 or 13 game losing streak, and they're on the verge of going back-to-back wins.
And I tell you what, like you said, it's a great story to hear. The Beaver Creek program, they've really struggled for a long time to find their footing. But this season, maybe they're going to turn things around.
And now Miller is going to call a timeout. Didn't see what he liked offensively. So as we wind down the end of this game, we think about player of the game options. This could be interesting. I'll write down a couple.
Is it Gusweiler or is it Maddox Frank?
That's what I was writing down.
We normally give it to Drew Baker just because he's the star, but
I mean,
he's had an average night.
Will Holt with the
school record? Yeah, there's some great options.
4 points in the game. And this one's definitely coming down to the wire.
He said he's got 4 points. Single-handedly beats LaSalle.
Yeah, by himself. Well, so did Drew Baker with the...
Yeah, well, there you go. Yep.
But as we wind down this game, Fairmont will take the trip up to Inglewood next week. They will play Northmont, and then they will be back home against Springboro, and we will be with them in our MVCC game of the week for week number 5 on the 16th of September. LaSalle is going to go, and they're going to host Louisville Trinity, and Baker dive up the middle. And then the rest of LaSalle's schedule, they will play at DuPont Manuel. Then they will play Moeller, which is what I tell you, that receiver for Moeller had his first game. He had 7 catches? Was it 3 touchdowns, 270 some yards?
I believe so.
Then they will play St. X. Then they will be at Detroit Central Catholic and at Elder to finish the year. Fairmont, after Springboro, they will go at Springfield. Then we'll be back here again at the end of September against Miamisburg. Then it will be at Wayne, and then finish out the season home for Centerville and Beaver Creek.
Baker with another carry.
1.9 seconds left. LaSalle, I believe LaSalle should be out of timeouts after that one. And then next week we have an intense SWBL showdown as the Valley View Spartans are going to go into Oakwood and take on the Lumberjacks. Oakwood had that win against Fairmont week 1, then kind of got taken control of by Northridge and then Milton Union, who just destroyed Valley View the week before. It'll be interesting to see what kind of outcome we'll get in that one. Valley View, what was up at the half, 24-0, I think it was.
I think it was 14-0 or 17-0.
And Firebirds are going to send out Will Holt. He's going to try a 40 for a 35-yard field goal. 44, sorry.
As he looks to put the icing on the cake.
High snap, kick is up, and I think that one might have been blocked.
That one had no chance from the start.
So LaSalle is going to take over. No timeouts, 37.7 seconds left.
So this thing definitely ain't over, but it's not going to be easy.
End on a defensive penalty if you're the Lancers. But I think that Fairmont's just going to probably play as big as the prevent defense as you can.
And
don't let them get out of bounds. Don't let them get any big chump change. Don't let anybody get behind them.
Yep. So this is another game that is not ours, but last week Piqua beat West Carrollton 59-0.
Oh, I saw that.
Tonight they beat Troy 59-0. And I believe it's week 8 that we go back to West Carrollton for Troy and West Carrollton. So it looks like those two teams are on even footing right now.
Here we go. Fairmont 37 seconds away from moving to 3-0. Throws it in the middle of the field, and it
finds a wide open wide receiver, and that's Beasley.
Beasley pushed out of bounds.
Huge play. Beasley is asking the refs, where is the flag? He wanted one.
I don't know. It looked like he might have been pushed out of bounds more than a horse collar. We'll see here.
Dalton Gusweiler almost makes it back there for his 3rd sack of the game.
Let's take a look here. It looked like the hand got under the face mask when Beasley wanted.
It's a very close call, though.
Now everybody is on their feet on the home side of Roush. LaSalle Mattingly rolling to the right. Throws it in the middle of the field, and it is hauled in out of bounds.
Berniker yet again.
Berniker finally, I think that's the first time he's not caught a screen pass all night.
He's been making all sorts of plays, and a really good adjustment right here in this last couple plays by the Lancers. They, at least on the last play, they double teamed Gusweiler, and he never even got off the line.
Mattingly going to the sideline for instructions. Fairmont just needs a tackle inbounds to keep the clock rolling. And Fairmont is going to call a timeout. Miller has seen his team give up 2 huge plays down the middle of the field, and he wants to talk about this one. Fairmont leading 10-3, 25.1 seconds left.
Now looking in at the Centerville game, at the end of the 3rd, Elks still up 10-0. You and Tony were right about a defensive showdown tonight. Now as we look to Springboro.
I just saw the update, 21-20 Elder with 4.5 minutes left, so that one coming down to the wire there too. If they can get a
Springboro turns it over on downs on the Elder 33.
Out of the Firebirds timeout, Mattingly going to be, and now you see some confusion here by the Lancers. 2 people come running off the field late. Mattingly in shotgun formation, back to pass, throws it quick out to the receiver, and it is incomplete. And that one was close to being behind the back.
Over the head of Grant, and I just think that Mattingly just let that one go a little too early. That one was way over the head of his running back. who would have had some room to maybe make a play. Would have been out in the
I
flat.
think Mattingly was more intending Grant to cut up field a little bit more. He kind of threw it in the area where he should have been, and Grant just kept running to the sideline. I know, granted, you got to work the sidelines, but a first down in high school stops it to set the chains.
Yep, 2nd and 10, 20 seconds
Mattingly
left.
back to pass, throws it middle of the field.
Berniker.
14.7 seconds left.
Have to get up to the line quickly.
And this is going to be a quick spike here for Mattingly.
No timeouts for the Lancers.
And that one took some time off the clock. The clock will be at 9.4. And
So realistically, Jared, the Lancers are probably going to have about two
I would say two
nice
shots.
shots at the end zone.
and it's got to be in the end zone. I mean, you can't try to work the sideline. Anything in the middle of the field is game over for the Lancers.
Yeah, you definitely have to be. I mean, you're throwing the ball at least at the 1 or 2 yard line, right? I mean, you can't
Try to make a defender miss. But no, I'd say this has got to go to the end zone. You're going to go 5 wide.
Where is Berniker? He's on the top of your screen.
Mattingly throws it middle of the field in the end zone, and it is incomplete.
And that was a high pass. Took a lot of time off the clock. As number 32 looks like he might have tweaked something there at the end of the play. Dawson Cahill, he was the guy that got hurt earlier. Nice to see him back out on the field. He wasn't even able to walk off the field by himself. So great to see him come back in.
And this is going to be the ball game. 3.7 seconds left.
If I am
Actually,
Fairmont,
there was a flag on the play, an illegal receiver downfield against LaSalle, so that'll back it up 10 or 5 more yards. 3rd and 10, 3.8. If you're Fairmont, you just let this one fall to the ground.
you triple team Berniker.
Mattingly back to pass. Mattingly looking to the end zone, and it is a jump ball, and it is
Intercepted!
Cameron Payne, number 1, intercepts it. And that one seals the game for the Firebirds as they move on to 3-0 as they beat the LaSalle Lancers 10-3 in a thrilling finish here at Roush Stadium.
And what a way to end it, Jared. The Firebirds had a great game, and the Lancers, they had a really good shot there at the end. Almost came back, but between Gus Weiler and between Maddox Franks, the Firebirds just too much. The pressure got there even on the last play.
And Payne seals it with an interception there. And Fairmont, like we said, will move to 3-0. They will go to Northmont next week. LaSalle will drop their first game of the year. They will go, or actually they will host Louisville Trinity. Our player of the game, I think it's got to be number 10, Maddox Frank.
I agree. Great game. Game of his life.
Fairmont, as you see, they're going to run to the student section and then run to the band to get the playing of the fight song. And that one is going to do it for us here from Roush Stadium. Fairmont wins a nail-biter at the end, 10-3. We will see you all next week for the Valley View Spartans and the Oakwood Lumberjacks.
That's all, folks.